Hello, welcome back to my podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about self-harm. I've spoken about it before on my SoundCloud, which you can visit, which is SoundCloud. Just stick my name in, Chris Jones. Anyway, self-harm is becoming increasingly something that schools have to deal with. We need to try to find ourselves in a position, once we deal with a child with self-harm, we follow it through. Unfortunately, it doesn't really happen. Now, they say that 1 in 10 teenagers self-harm. And to be quite honest, I don't think we really find most of those teenagers. Basically what it means is there's at least 3 people in each class that are self-harming. Now, there's different ways you can self-harm. The most common way of self-harming is cutting. Now, we're sort of used to it, and we do take it seriously, but we try not to push it too much, because we think it's one of those things that a lot of kids get over eventually. Now, there are people that say that they can heal them and everything else. I don't believe in that, alright? That is basically bull, and you know what the rest is. Let's take a practical way of dealing with it. A lot of these kids are traumatized by life. They're crying out to you for help. A lot of you can't hear them. Just listen. That's all you got to do. Listen a little bit more and you'll hear them. Don't be sort of like running for promotion and all the rest of it. That's got nothing to do with it. No. Self-harm, cutting, burning, really is an increase. There's biting, hair pulling, and I've seen quite a few of these, and we have to find a way of stopping. You need some help, big time, and I think the best people to get help from are the professionals, the people who not only know what they're doing, but see this time and time again. Now, it's increasing so much that it's going to take over from a lot of other things, and we need to put ourselves in an area that we can deal with them. Now, I often have children who self-harm. It's the way you deal with that self-harm that matters, okay? You need to have some empathy, have some understanding about it, and even if you don't understand it, what you do, you flag it up, you get the person who's going to take care of them and understand, right? If you get a person who's self-harming, it's important to deal with it straight away, because you can not only save their lives, but you can get them back to normal thinking and push them back on the path. Now, it's estimated that 170,000 people are self-harming. It's too much. Each year they deliberately on purpose harm themselves. This is despite the fact that the risk of committing suicide is high. So I suggest we find a way of stopping it. Now, you'd think that self-harmers would be in safe hands at hospital, but you'd be surprised how many of them end up in the system and then end up dead, because there's no help. We've got to start helping them. Now, there's a deep-seated battle amongst health professionals who can provide the best help. In fact, let me tell you who provides the best help. All of you provide the best help. All of you are very good at what you're doing. But we've got to get these young people back in the system. We can't allow them to be out there making decisions for themselves. Now, there have been some new guidelines from NICE. In fact, there were some really good guidelines from NICE for diabetics, which is worth following. But there's been some on self-harm. Now, everyone who's believed to self-harm should be offered a preliminary psychoanalysis. Do you know what the fact of that means? You wait a year. It's not good enough. Self-harmers need care and dignity and love from the professionals and other people. You know, we know the accident and emergency departments are full to overflowing with these problems, but unfortunately, the way I look at it, it's the best place to be. Now, a lot of people think and wonder, why do young people self-harm? Well, very often they find themselves on the wrong side of school. You know, they have little problems which are made into bigger problems. And in fact, if we spotted the little problems and we did something about it then and there, we'd have a good chance of stopping things from going any further. Now, what's the effects of self-harm? I think that apart from the self-esteem issues, self-harm can be associated with a lot of different things. You know, you get angry, frustrated, and then you think, let me find a way to feel a bit different. And of course, you know that the young people are bang on that social media. So of course, they're going to have a little look. And there are websites out there. I won't even talk about the dark web, because many people are playing with it, even in schools, because they find a way around the systems so easily. And it's difficult for us to keep up. So we need to give them the right information. Now, if you're self-harming, guess what? You're not alone. We want to help you. It's so important that we find a way to fight back. Take the fight to them. And we can do that. No, you can. Like the TV show says, phone a friend. Hello, I'm feeling like... That's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. Now, you can ask someone to talk to them. Have a chat. Reduce anxiety. Calm them down. There's also this mindfulness, which I've got to be honest with you, I thought it was yoga or whatever. It isn't. It's good. It's basically about controlling your breath. Now, this sounds crazy. Try this. What you got to do, you got to breathe in for 4 seconds. Watch. Through your nose, keep your mouth closed. And then you got to exhale through your nose. Do that a couple of times. I've got to tell you, not only do you get a natural high, but it does feel good. And if you can control your breath, don't know why I've got breaths on the mind. If you can control your breath, you can control the rest of your body quite easily. Now, you got to say to yourself, stop! You know, you got to say, I want to stop. And something does happen in your head. I can't say what it is, but it does happen. Yeah. I choose, not anybody else, not anything else. I choose not to self-harm. I choose to be calmed and relaxed. I choose to have a better day today than I had yesterday. Now, the other thing is good to keep is a diary. You know, just a little diary, a little paper diary. It hasn't got to be fantastic. About your mood. Today I felt okay. This day, next day, and then I felt like shite. And when you feel like shite, you know what you do? You go to the top of the table again, and you work your way down. It's important. Even simple strategies like when it's really getting harmful, you start counting from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. These things help. These are simple strategies, but they help. You know, when you're at home, put on the music, bang the music on. Put yourself in a different mood, in a different place. Mind you, you're going to listen to this. I ain't talking about no grime. We spoke about grime before. You know where that gets you. Although there's some talented artists out there, but it's not good. Do breathing exercises. The breath is so important. Slowly and surely do those exercises. They will help you. And just as important that is when you're feeling like that, don't be alone. Have someone with you. Have a friend you can talk to, because you know what you turn into. You turn into Billy No Mates. Literally, Billy No Mates. You know, it's dangerous when you see children who've got no mates. Become their friends. Be nice. Now, have the company of your mum, of your nan, of your uncle, or even your brother. Not that he's on the same page, but he could help. Now, after you finish your self-harm, you're going to think about topping yourself. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this, and I'm sure you've thought of them, but none of them are any good, right? Get some help from the professionals. Don't hang about. It's really important to deal with this as soon as you can. There are lots of people out there to help you, okay? Things aren't black and white. They really aren't. But I got a suggestion. I did write on a bit of paper. Where is it? Now, I used to do some work for the Frank campaign. You can call them. And the number to call the Frank campaign is 0800 77 66 00. That's 0800 77 66 00. Make sure you ring them, because they're really good. Okay. Now, obviously, you've got Childline, which is the next people, or one of the people you can use, and it's simple. It's 0800 11 11 0800 1111. Now, it's not meant to be like that, but you know what I'm saying. Get hold of them, because they're good people to talk to. Now, sometimes it does seem like friends and people around us are going mad. Give them some help. Mental health is so important. Do not leave them. Anyway, look, I said to myself, I gave myself another thing. This year, I'm not going any longer than 10 minutes. I've just gone over 10 minutes, so I'm going to cut it short. You got any problems? I'm not bothered about what problems. I don't do politics. I do care about politics, right? I really do, but I'm not bringing politics into this. Drop me an email. You got a problem, I will answer back. If you don't get a chance to drop me an email, and you most probably won't get me a chance to try one of the people, I'd like to talk to Frank. 0800 77 66 00, or Childline 0800 1111. Okay, right, I will speak to you soon. Drop me an email if you got a problem. I'll follow it through. Thank you, and bye-bye.